Hi, welcome back to Happy Life, Better Life. Today, this video in particular is for women who have been starting over and who have found themselves in a difficult place. Um, I've been reading through some of the comments, and I know that there have been those of you out there who have really been struggling and having a hard time. And I don't normally start out like this, but I am going to start out like this today. There is a scripture, and the scripture says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight in glory, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are unseen. For the things that are seen are temporal, they're temporary, and the things that are not seen are eternal." So that is a scripture that has stuck with me through many, many years. I will say that I'm a spiritual person, but I don't ever say I'm this or I'm that. I'm just Tasha. And but I did grow up in church. I was married to a minister and all of that and so forth. And so many of these things are part of my history and my makeup to some degree. So that particular verse is something that would always encourage me whenever I was going through a difficult place. And even though it says for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, sometimes it doesn't feel light at all. Sometimes it doesn't feel momentary at all. Sometimes it can feel like you've been going through a really hard thing for a really long time. But at the end of the day, in light of eternity, something I would often say to myself, in light of eternity, how important is it? How bad is it? Whenever my anxiety would get the best of me, I would literally find myself saying, in light of eternity, how important is this thing? I know it seems urgent and I know it seems life shattering and altering right now, but in light of eternity, it kind of puts it in perspective that this is just for a moment. So I want to encourage you to do three things where you are. If you are someone who is starting over after a divorce or separation and you find yourself really struggling in this place, I want you to first watch your words, watch your words, watch your confession, watch what you're taking in mentally, physically, spiritually, what you're putting in your body, the things that you are allowing to kind of take place. Because when I first went through, it wasn't like immediately, but I would probably say after like a year or so of the separation, and when I moved and relocated to a whole new area with my brother, I went through a depression. I really did. I was trying to find jobs and I couldn't find jobs that seemed suitable, that were like enough to pay for all the things that I needed to take care of. And let's be real, and I've said this before, when you are separated or going through a divorce, unless there's some kind of spousal support or something like that, different things. But your household income is cut, you know, and you could be in a place. I remember working, like I say, three jobs, and I was going through a difficult place. I was discouraged. Well, this was first when I couldn't find a job initially, and then at one point, I I think I took a job working at Walmart because that was the first door that opened. And after looking at different things that were further away but still weren't paying enough, I just said, okay, the next door that opens, I'm just going to take it and I'll keep looking in the meantime. And that's what I did. So you might be going through a difficult place financially, or it could just be emotions. Emotions, especially if you loved your spouse. If you loved your spouse, if you didn't want the breakup, if you wanted to, be with that person, that's a hard pill to swallow. There's no way I can make light of that. There's no way I can say, oh, You'll get over that. Mm. It takes time. It takes time and it takes healing. But what you can do in the meantime, I would speak really negatively at times. Like I would keep saying, oh, it's so hard starting over in your 40s. Oh, it's so hard starting over. And it just seemed like the more I said it, the more it happened. And I said this in one of my other videos, but I'm saying it again because I feel like somebody needs to hear it. And what you have to do is you have to, I'm going to say it, I think you should start journaling. Why? What is the significance of journaling? Listen, I can tell you there have been times when journaling has literally saved my life. In short, it helped to keep my sanity where I needed it to be. It helped me to process my feelings, my thoughts about things. It helped me sometimes just to get it out. Even if I was writing it and I was the only one who was going to see it or read it, it was helpful for me to get those feelings out, to be able to express the hurt, the pain, or whatever it was. And also, journaling helped me to plan, it helped me to dream. It gave me free license to say, what do I want my life to look like? And then to kind of say, and how do I get there? How do I get there? What do I want my life to look like? And how do I get there? And for me, at that point in time, that meant planning. And that meant me taking that job, that initial job at Walmart, and going there every day like I was going to someplace I actually wanted to be, where I was actually getting paid a decent wage, because I wasn't getting all of that at Walmart. And then once I got to that place of having that job, and then I got the next job, which was what I really wanted. I knew in my mind, I had a plan. I wanted to, I didn't want to work weekends. I didn't want to work nights. I wanted to have a set schedule every day. I wanted to be off on the holidays. I wanted to be off, like I said, on weekends. And I didn't want to have to fight for days off because this person had more seniority than I did. So, and I knew I wanted to be pretty free for Christmas and Thanksgiving to spend that time with my family, because that was very important to me. So the answer for me was working at the school district at that time. And so that's when I got a job doing that. So I'm talking about where you may be right now. You might be feeling discouraged about things. You might feel like you can't see how things are going to change and get better. But I am here to tell you that it will. It will. But it doesn't just happen on its own. We do have to be proactive. We do have to kind of set a plan. We have to be intentional. That's the other thing I want to say. Watch what you say, start journaling, and be intentional. Be intentional about who you spend your time with. Be intentional about who talks to you when you're in this place, because when you're down and you're already feeling broken, you don't need somebody coming to you with more broken talk and speech, and you don't need someone who's going to co-sign your pity party. I'm just going to be honest. You don't need someone who's going to co-sign your pity party. They can be empathetic. They can be someone who understands your pain and they want to encourage you through it. But they do need to be someone who's going to speak life into the situation, and not someone who's just going to co-sign your negativity or your whatever is going on that's not positive. You need someone who's going to lift you up. So I just wanted to put these thoughts out there today. I want to thank you for chiming in. I just wanted to do a quick blurb. Be intentional. Be intentional about who you spend your time with. Be intentional about what you give your focus and attention to. Just be intentional, okay? And you're going to make it through this place, and I want to let you know that. So keep your head up And I look forward to seeing you here. And I believe that you're going to live a happy life and a better life. So take care. Bye bye.